In this video, we're going to talk about the RV industry. We're going to talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly. So let's just get started. Here we go. Rentals. Rentals are on the good side. We have 2 out of 3 dealers are reporting more rentals, a lot more inquiries, a lot more people wanting a little bit more glamorous type camping set up for them. So the RV rental is really a good hot spot right now. As 44 million Americans plan to go RV camping this year, the rental market is definitely going to have a surge, and it's going to be a good bright spot in the industry. RVIA wholesale shipments are up again. Imagine that. Travel trailers are up 0.6%. We're seeing a little bit of manufacturing slowdown on the pull trailers, but to the surprise, fifth wheels are up. Fifth wheels are up 23%. Don't quite understand that. Don't know where that snuck in there and blindsided me, but you know what? It is what it is. And motorhomes continue their decline. They're down 3.4%. And again, we're seeing some consolidation in the industry of class of the motorhomes. And you know, the A's aren't selling, the B's aren't selling, and the C's are just barely hanging on. Anyway, motorhomes just are not a good part of the industry right now. And who knows, we might see that change. If interest rates would come down, we might see a bright spot as far as motorhomes go. RV registration or sales are down. They're down over 9.3%. Get these numbers right. Sorry, there were over 33,661 retail registrations this year. And there were 36,803 registrations for 2024. As you can see, the trend of buying new RVs and new recreational vehicles is still trending downward, and I don't see any end in sight for that. Now we combine that with the manufacturer shipping out more units on the sales floor. The holding costs for these dealers is going to become prohibitively expensive, and I think we're going to see some more shakeout at the dealer level. Black Book, the RV auction site, shows towables down 5.5% in retail price. And motorhomes dropped 0.8%. The used market is just not good right now if you're trying to sell. If you're trying to buy, it may not be too bad. But if you're trying to sell one or trade one in to upgrade, you're going to be in big trouble because there's no end in sight for this and the decline in used recreational vehicle prices. It's just a fact of life. On the good news side of the house, Thor made a profit. They made over 174 million in the last quarter. That's good. That's good news. That's a 26% increase over last year. Thor's doing something right. They're holding their costs down. They're building what sells. They have a backlog of work, which helps them out a little bit. You know, those big Class A motorhomes, there's still a waiting list for those, and people that have money are buying them, are ordering them. You know, they want them customized to the hilt. They want every option they can get on them, and they want their colors. The wife wants to pick out the interior decoration. That's where Thor's accelerating right now, where the rest of the industry is lagging behind. Lance, you know, there's just not a lot of good news coming from the Lance side of the world. RV Group has decided to put them up for sale. They have a projected loss of $30 million in the Lance campground or the Lance campers. It's just not a good thing for Lance right now. RV Groups put them up for sale because they just couldn't make them fit in with their other businesses. And Lance, I'm going to tell you what, when you go to the trade shows and see them, they have nice looking units. They're very well built. The problem is they're about 10 years behind the times. Nobody wants that overbearing wood look. Nobody wants that slides that are raised up. You got to step up into them. But they do have some unique features. They just haven't kept up. Their solar packages lag behind. Their lithium packages lag behind. Their cooktops. Right now they're not offering the convection microwave ovens. You know, they're just behind the times. Whoever buys them just needs to overhaul and upgrade them. They're a good unit, don't get me wrong, but nobody wants to buy a good unit that looks 10 years old. Lazy Days, they continue to sell off their dealerships to their competitors. Lazy Days has sold two of the dealerships, one in Fort Pierce, Florida, and the other one in Longmont, Colorado. They're selling off their dealerships just to make a little bit of money so they can keep the doors open. Again, I've been preaching about them. I don't think they're long for this world, and unless there's a miracle turnaround, I think they're going to be just a footnote in the history books. Winnebago, boy, they're struggling too. They just can't seem to hit one out of the park anymore right now. Not sure what's happened with their management, why they're so slow to respond, but they're laying off people. I'm just going to read this. On the Winnebago side, while market pressures have been observed across our portfolio, we have been most acute in our Winnebago motorhome business unit. As a result, we expect net revenue over the next 2 quarters of fiscal 2025 to be significantly lower. They're already preaching that they have sales problems coming up, and with sales problems means revenue's down. If revenue's down, that means profit goes down. Winnebago's in a tough spot right now. Earth Cruiser, that high-end off-road manufacturer of RVs, they're not dealing directly with the consumers anymore. They're only selling straight to dealers, and they're only selling to dealers that are making some modular campers. And I'm not sure that that's a good business model. Earth Cruiser, I'm afraid that they've just put off what's eventually going to happen, and they're just going to be another recreational vehicle maker gone by the wayside. When their bread and butter was talking to consumers, you know, buy this, I build it for you. Now you got to go through a third party. I just don't think that's a good business model for them. National Park Service. The National Park Service is really facing some dire straits in the coming future. If the rumors are true that they're going to cut $1.25 billion from the budget of the National Park Service, that puts in jeopardy a lot of campsites, reduction in services. Who knows what that's going to entail? And we really need to step up and let our congressmen, people know that we want the National Park Service. The National Park Service is available to all Americans. It's a busy time of the year. All the campsites are busy. Raise the price, $5, $10, whatever you need to do. You need to keep the national parks open. Figure out a way to make them at least break even. And we need to write our congressmen and tell them not to cut the budget for national parks. Corp of Engineers. We continue to see the Corp of Engineers reduce services and reduce campgrounds and closing campgrounds. And that's a shame. We've really liked camping at the Corp of Engineers sites. And I think throughout the summer, we're going to see more and more of them consolidate and close or shut off parts of campgrounds. And hopefully they can get their act together and in 2026 be a very good place to go camping. We liked them. We've always had good luck with them. I drove by the one here in Kansas Sunday, and they hadn't mowed. One of the bathhouses was closed. There were plenty of people camping there. They're just overgrown, and a bathhouse closed. Anyway, hopefully they can get their act together next year and find a little bit of money. Again, raise the price. Raise the price $5, $10 a night. It'd still be a good deal for everybody. Another thing we're starting to see a lot more RV users collaborating with the manufacturers, or just the manufacturers collaborating with other industry types. Example is Airstream. Airstream's getting together with Frank Lloyd Wright and creating a trailer, the Frank Lloyd Wright trailer. It's going to be pretty cool. It's not really my taste. I'm not sure that I like that 1950s architecture and whatnot. But you know what? Hey, they're doing something and they're being innovative. Along with that, they have a Pottery Barn edition that was a big seller and big looker. When you go to the RV shows, people like going in that Airstream that had the Pottery Barn motif. They also had a REI version, one for more outdoor camping, a little, not really rugged camping, but more outdoor themed camping. And then they had the Tommy Bahama Special Edition, which was kind of a high-end surfing mode Airstream. It was nice. I'm sure that they sold well. I mean, you get in that Airstream category, they're expensive anyway, so what's another $10,000-$15,000 added on to the price of an Airstream? We're also seeing collaboration with just RV campers. RV Miles and the Sabre, they designed a really nice fifth wheel that met their specifications, and I think they'll probably roll that out to the public and make that available for everyone. It's a prototype now, but you know what? That's where you start. Wandering Weekends has been working with Grand Design. They came up with a bunkhouse, Imagine Grand Design trailer. And their main thing is they needed a bigger bunkhouse or beds for high school kids. You know, when you get high school kids that are 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", you know, that little bitty bunk bed that you were sleeping in when you were 5 just ain't going to cut it. And Wandering Weekends worked with Grand Design and they made it work. And I bet you see that be popular here in the near future. Changing Lanes worked with Grand Design and came up with a high-end Momentum toy hauler, and it's a real nice setup. I mean, they really went the extra mile to make that very nice paint job on the outside, nice interior decorating, all the bells and whistles you can imagine, and you can tell it's got a little bit of a female touch, but they've done a very good job. I think we're going to see a little more of that in the industry. Well, I think that'll wrap it up. Hopefully we had some good news and bad news in here and a little bit ugly news. It's just the way the industry is right now. If you like what you saw, give me a thumbs up. Click that bell to get notifications. And if you want to, or I would appreciate it very much if you would subscribe to our channel. Well, until we meet around the campfire, y'all take care now. Bye-bye.